Our emotions are the vehicle that our body and mind send signals to let us know if there's something that we need to shift in our lives. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, please make sure you make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button. Give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. Today, this Elle Woods inspired, pink chihuahua loving, NSYNC obsessed girl is going to be reacting to the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy frickin' Osbourne. The only Ozzy song I know is Crazy Train. I did watch some of the Osbournes back in the early 2000s, but I don't really know much about his discography or his early work or anything. I know who he is and a bit about his life, and that's it, and one song. So I am going to be diving into this today. This is a request from Ohas, my amazing Patreon. Thank you so much for your continued love and support. If you guys have not had a chance to check out my Patreon, please make sure to do so. Link is in the description. Every single dime goes toward my mental health outreach projects. You get priority song requests. You get to jump on multiple Zoom calls and hang out with me and chat every single month. You get personalized stuff, content that I only share on my Patreon, and so much more. So make sure to check that out. Link is in the description. But today I'm doing Diary of a Madman by Ozzy Osbourne, and I feel like I could just write the book on crazy. So somehow I think Ozzy probably has me beat, but let's see. Let's see if his diary compares to what mine would look like if I wrote one. Picture. Even though I don't really know him and I'm not super familiar with him, his voice is just so legendary that I recognize it right off. And this is coming from somebody who literally knows one song well, guys, and I can recognize Ozzy pretty quickly. The beauty of strings here just blended with the intensity of that metal that kicks in is really quite exquisite. For those of you that are questioning why I had never heard this, number one, my parents weren't really into rock. Number two, that upside down cross there would have got this burned had I brought it into my house, even though my parents weren't super religious. Things like that were definitely banned. That was one of the restrictions they had. I love the kid, by the way, that's just kind of giggling in the background. You know, someone once asked me what movie I could relate to when it came to depression, and my answer might surprise you because I said Groundhog Day. And think about it, being in the depression spiral, in that cycle, feels like you're just reliving the same day over and over and over, and nobody understands the unique perspective you have because they haven't been through what you've been through. They don't realize that your day is repeating, so they don't have the knowledge that you have, and thus anyone you try to explain your situation to is gonna think that you're crazy, and you feel like It's something that you've done, and that's something you can undo that's landed you in this cycle, in this repetition. So you try everything that you can think of, wondering every single day why you keep waking up in this cycle. Whoa! This provokes a really deep reflection. This poses a really provoking reflection. Is the shadow in you, in your mind, looking for a way to escape or to live in its expression, to wreak havoc, perhaps to escape a body that doesn't resonate with it any more than you resonate with this energy, then you resonate with harboring this energy? Or is the pain and the struggle external, beating on your door and looking for a way to infiltrate your mind and take control? That is a really crazy concept to wrestle with. And I know I've toyed around with that before, but never quite in the same context. So for some reason, that really just struck me as something that I really want to sit with later. Could I mistake myself for someone who lives behind my eyes? Sorry if I didn't get that exactly perfect. You accept the narration of the depression symptoms, of the shadow, as your own, and you believe without question, without any falter, you believe everything that it says. And in doing so, your identity and your sense of self-worth is really weakened.
away my mental health. Can I ask a question to help me save me from myself? And instead of the pages I gave me, Monday till Sunday and stages set me free.
I found that ending to be really unique, and maybe it's just because I'm not indoctrinated yet enough into classic rock, but that ending to me was just very unique, and it kind of had that epic build up like at the end of a movie where they get in the sword fight and they're trying to build you up, trying to really get your emotions going, get your adrenaline going as you're watching and listening. That's the vibe I had from that. Look, those voices in your head that you let take over your narration scream until you forget how to hear anything else, and it can pulverize the foundation of your mental health. You start seeing yourself as the villain, as the perpetrator, and as someone who struggled with symptoms of borderline personality disorder, this is what is known as splitting, when you start seeing someone else that you typically love and are very close to as the bad guy, as the villain. All of a sudden, the hero becomes the villain very abruptly. It's like that happening internally, and it's jarring for it to happen in general, but when it happens internally, it can be really frightening. It's very frightening for me and very dizzying because you don't know what to believe anymore, and it does have a way of persuading you. It's all you can really do though when you're in the state to make it day to day, and that was the reference, in my opinion, to In Stages. And you're begging for freedom from this relentless march of monotonous humdrum. How many of you can relate to that? Because I spent a very, very long time in that place, in that mindset. I'm looking at this album cover, and there are just so many things that you could pick apart. Is that a dead bird? Because I'm pretty sure that's a dead bird. And I feel like things back in this day, I don't know exactly when this era was, but I've seen some album work and stuff from these classic rock artists, and it just always seemed like they were so over the top. And in a way, I kind of love that because my personality is just very extreme, very bold, very, very vibrant. So I can relate to that. But I'm just sitting there the whole time thinking, what is with the blood on his pants? Not that I am questioning why there's blood on his pants, but I just can't fathom how the blood spatter is in the pattern that it's in. Call it my inner Dexter is sitting there analyzing the blood spatter, wondering where in the hell that supposed wound came from. That is my mind when I sit here and I start ruminating and analyzing. But I do think that the lyrics are very helpful. It's another one of those songs that would have been very validating, but I'm sure that I wasn't the only one that was forbidden to listen to or have anything to do with Ozzy Osbourne at the time, which is tragic because I think that a lot of these artists that were labeled as devil worshippers and evil had a lot of good messages that really could help the youth, and they were censored from being able to be part of that, and that's tragic. But you are not censored here. Remember, good, bad, and crazy. Share your stories in the comments. That is how we shatter the mental health stigma, is by talking about it. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it if you think someone might need to hear this message, and I love you guys so much. Mwah.